hopefully we get most of this recorded before this died. I think it's kind of fitting too. I got the Superman logo right there. Superman right here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, so I don't even know where I was going with that.
No, you were talking about the rap alias.
All right, so
making the distinction.
So
I don't know the distinction. You just A Bizza to me.
For the longest time, I was trying to find my voice. I went through all the different I don't even know, like monikers, all that, like different ideas and stuff, and see like where it stick. Like, I wanted to go like a certain vibe. Certain things didn't work, and then one day I just realized that like I was like pushing it too much, like trying to like wear too many hats with that one name basically, and I wanted to kind of reinvent a little bit because I felt like what am I saying with that? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I felt like also there was a distinction. There was a few producers that were around that were kind of like had similar kind of names.
Yeah, I remember having that conversation.
They didn't have I don't know like to what extent like their like catalog is or anything like that, but I didn't want to be disrespectful, and also I had kind of staked my claim already in the scene with this. I have my one of my productions on their album, so it's like I can't just like throw it down now. So I had to basically decide. I was like, what am I gonna do? And then just one day I decided that, well, A Biz is just an idea, so let's just keep him an idea. So that's why, like, whenever I perform, basically, I don't show my face, so it's like I don't have a distinction. It's like the music is basically just what speaks for itself, I guess you could say. So that's like a lot of people would question, like, why do you start doing that? It's like, well, I mean, if I'm showing myself and then I'm doing this, it's like people are gonna get confused. So it's like it's almost like two different people when I do it that way. So it helps to like kind of like end the confusion while probably adding some people to the
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's definitely a lot of successful artists who have created like aliases for themselves for when they're doing a side project or a different aspect of their work.
Exactly.
Now, Manchester, that area is, I mean, like most of New England, known for being white.
Right.
So how did you and your family end up in Manchester? Have you guys been there for multiple generations? Like my family's only been in Boston for like 2 generations.
This is like all stuff I'm trying to like go from memory because like I've kind of learned a bunch of stuff too since around like September of last year. My father unfortunately passed away from Parkinson's after about 5 years of struggling with that. But from what I remember, I believe my folks got their place in '74, and I was born in '83. So they'd been around for a little bit, and then try to like build a foundation here and stuff.
Originally from
South Boston.
South Boston, okay, because
I was born in Brigham and Women's.
Me too.
Oh shit! Yeah. Didn't know that.
Come on, man.
All right, man. That's what's up.
We are about our next project is a project where students are pairing up into groups and researching like the history and culture regarding hip hop in different countries.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like I know that there's definitely been a lot of interest in music from Asia in this class, just from the writings that I've already seen. Like, is there any aspect of like old country in your music that you try to pay attention to?
100%, and more so within the last few years, I've tried to tap into it a lot more. Like, I'm on my father's side, I'm Middle Eastern, so Syrian. I believe it's just Syrian on that side, but like on my mother's side, it's all like European, Lithuanian, Polish. So I try to like tap into like basically both sides of that. Also different countries as well that might be in like the Slavic region and stuff, because I feel like there's a lot of untapped stuff in there as well. But yeah, it's big time on Syrian as well though, because I feel like that's kind of like an untapped source, like an under-tapped source, I should say.
Nice.
And
then last question before I let you just take over and do your thing here would be, what is it about production that kind of steers you in that direction? There's so many different levels of hip hop and aspects of hip hop we can get involved in. You're a great MC too. But what steers you towards the beats?
So it's wild because I was always intrigued by sounds, and I realized like as I studied other producers, other DJs, because I dabble in DJing a little bit as well, not as much as I'd like because I don't really have a working setup right now, but I watched a lot of like the old documentaries and stuff, and I remember even like Mixmaster Mike talking about he started off with just tapes. And I actually started out with just tapes because like I had an old like crappy boombox that was like it actually had like the quick pause, unpause kind of feature. So I did a lot of like cut, kind of like the equivalent to pause tapes, but not the same.
Yeah.
But I was chopping together like different like Wu-Tang shit and just like trying to do like a mixtape like that. And just as things went on, like I also had gotten a keyboard when I was like 8 years old or something, and it had like probably one of the first ones that you could actually like make your own like melodies and like record it, and it wasn't like sequenced or anything. There was no quantized, so it was just completely just
whatever
like
you did, that's
whatever you did,
what it
you
was.
did exactly. And that kind of was like a good foundation to get me started. I started to actually like figure out that I could take the old cassettes that like if you wanted to put like a CD and like when it just had a tape deck, I found out you could put that in the tape, like the first tape, and then record on the other one.
Oh yeah.
And I hooked up my boombox to my keyboard basically, and I started recording that way, and just gradually figured out dubbing and all that. And then I don't know what year it was. Whatever year I started working, I think I was like 16. I got an old Tascam. It was like an 8-track.
See, this is kind of why I was asking.
Yeah.
Because like the story kind of tells itself in similar ways.
Sure.
That, like when you talk about producers, because there's always that level of like resourcefulness. Like I had to figure out a way to.
Exactly. And
wasn't
also
just there.
being where I was, where I was living too, it wasn't like something that everybody was like super interested in. There wasn't anybody else that was making beats, and anybody that I did eventually meet, like they were kind of full of themselves, and I wasn't probably not at the skill level yet that they might have been interested. So I was kind of just on my own, and like it stuck in the mud for a while trying to figure it out. And eventually I was gifted a few programs. I was gifted Acid Rock 2.0, which ended up being like Sonic, Sony something. It was like Sony recordings, like one of those. It was one of those DAW programs that got started, but it was like I used that and I got started. I figured out like all the dubbing, and I didn't even have effects back then, and so I figured out how to like make like reverb and stuff by just like cloning my voice and like lowering it and all that stuff, and like a lot of real like just like guerrilla tactics to like get the sounds I wanted to get. And
we would do that with rap too. Like I would be recording a verse and we didn't have like plugins and stuff, so whatever the last word of the verse was, like it was like fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Walk away backwards from the mic.
Yeah, I did that too. With the mics when I was recording. Because I did a lot of that with like the karaoke machines and stuff starting out. Cause it's it's all easy equipment to get yourself in the door basically. And just after a while it just really started to make sense. Just cause I was always interested in the sounds. I had like a Talkboy when those came on. I was like playing with that and recording to the TV, recording. I had an MTV Music Generator. I had you name it. I probably had a bottle. I had a good chunk of those. Yup. And you could sample into it too, which was another big thing because that was when I started figuring out sampling. Yeah. It's like a lot of producers probably would mention these things too when they like coming in, but it's just wild to see like you think you're only you're on your own island with that. You're really not that far off because people are all kind of like in that same like in one category or another. Like I hear like
you've been making beats now like how long have you felt comfortable enough to like send your beats to MCs?
Comfortable, I'd say, shoot. I mean, I started actually getting on on albums probably like as early back as like 2004, but it was definitely like still really like not like at the level like all like the my capability as far as like EQing everything was. I still like didn't really have that, but I think probably between maybe like 2015, 2016, because that's when I started sending you guys stuff.
And what's the first record that made you feel like, oh man, I'm in the game now?
Probably y'all's record, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because that was the first.
That wasn't a setup.
No, that was the first big one because I'm gonna level with y'all. I've been listening to him, Miss Lift, Esoteric, Virtuoso, all them cats since probably like the early 2000s, maybe 2000, 2001, and just a lot of that stuff. Like I was into like anything before that, and it just kind of like it reshaped my mind to like hear like the like where I was like missing. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have gotten a little backpackers for a bit. But it also kind of like helped me like realize I could be like an individual too, because like if you're just hearing like the same stuff, you're gonna get processed. You're gonna want to make the same stuff processed. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So.
That's fair. Well, I'm glad to be part of the story for sure. We all are. We only have like a half an hour, so I want to let you.
But I think we can make that work with that.
Okay.
So I figured I'd show you guys a couple examples first, like stuff I've made, and then I'll make something on the spot. Not too crazy. So I actually had a show probably I think it was on Sunday at the Middle East. So I actually had some stuff from then. So start with something kind of chill. Another sample that was like not in the right key, but I managed that I could get it to like actually fit. And it's got cool stuff. It has like effects and stuff.
There's a part of me that wishes we could get like what keys are on your hands. I feel like that's the most intriguing part about it.
If I ever want to just like stop it abruptly, I can just do that. Cool stuff.
So that effect is just in the machine?
Yeah, so it's a lot of these are like triggered basically, like it has them all labeled to which ones you can do, but if you press effects and then you push them, some of these are like, it's weird, they're like pressure sensitive in like certain areas, so if you move your finger to like a different spot on the key, it like will actually like...
Oh! How much that cost? Wow.
$300. $300. And they're in stock right now, so...
These donuts almost cost that. I'm about to go get one of those.
I'm telling you, and I'm grateful too, because when these first came out, I should make a disclaimer, because just like anything, when like something first comes out, there's always like some kind of... I'm sorry about that, I didn't realize I was blocking you. I'm actually gonna hold this up too, so y'all can see. So, this is called the KO2, also the EP133. It's made by Teenage Engineering. Like I said, it came out around Christmas time. It's basically like the father of like the pocket operators. You've probably seen those, like people make beats and stuff on like like Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. It's just, it holds more memory. It has like, you can do a lot more with it. But you can link other stuff up to it too, which I haven't done yet, but I imagine it's probably like a lot more intuitive than what I'm already doing right now.
USB compatible?
USB-C, yeah. So what I probably will end up showing eventually is if I need to like load stuff on, like if I don't, let's say like I have a computer nearby, it takes a USB-C. So what I do is I plug her in, and then there's actually a website like right up on, you can go right on there, and it basically just, you can do it all right on there, which is wild, because like I was like, how's that work? You know what I mean?
It's like a console, like
yeah, just so like with all other machines, like I also have a couple of 404s, and they actually have software. So like if you plug in, like if you have like an adapter and you plug in like your memory card, you can actually like load the stuff and take stuff off of pads, back them up. It's really good to have that. It's like, especially because like these things are not like,
that was what was cool about GarageBand.
These things aren't foolproof. I mean, something could go wrong and you could lose everything. I actually had this thing crash on me once already, and it was really devastating. But I think it might have been because I had it in my car, like, it might have been a cold night or something. I'm not sure, but haven't had anything happen since. Thank God. Knock on wood.
Yeah, losing
and
the worst.
Yeah, man. But this is like my day one shit right here. You can also compose with keys on this, like the different pads you can do, like when you need. I felt like it was a little bit hollow, so I wanted to add something in the background. I'll do little things like that with sound.
Of course.
Is it too loud? I apologize.
I was thinking.
You got that? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody. I totally
we play music in
understand.
here all the time, but that's these speakers. This stuff right here. This is crazy.
So, yeah, these are Mackies too. I got them on sale probably around the pandemic, and they were like a real godsend because the other ones I had were starting to crap out on me. So before I start,
the sound quality is so good.
and the other thing that I should point out is it's only limited to like 64 megabytes. So like that doesn't sound like a lot. Basically, you used to have a 2000, right, MPC?
Yes. No, I didn't have one, but my producer had one, so I was always around one.
Remember how you used to have to record stuff faster?
Yes.
I basically have to do that with this.
Oh,
and
I see.
it's good because with this particular turntable, you can go up to 78 speed, which is like no records are that fast anymore. But it's ideal for like you want as much time as you can with this, and it also kind of adds a little element of grit to it because it takes out certain
You guys know about that, like the settings on turntables that change how fast they are, the rotations per minute. Standard is like 33 and a third, and then the little records, the smaller ones are 45s, and then there's the 78s, which like 8 cents. You can see those. But 45s are really popular still. Like a lot of DJs have 45 collections at the two clubs. People will see. Just see those classics, but shoot.
You must have seen that video of Biz, right? Biz Markie spinning on the 40. He had like the it was like a tech, but it was only made for 45s. There was like only a couple of them made.
No, I've heard of that machine, but I never seen Biz Markie.
It's wild. I'm sure it's probably like I saw it on IG, but it's probably like on YouTube or any of those, man. If I find it, I'll have to send it to you. It's pretty wild. Let's see if I think this is the one I wanted to delete because I had an issue. Yeah, I want to get rid of. So, and the other thing with deleting stuff, which is cool, is legit, like you can hold down like whatever you need and then like hit erase and you'll see pattern, delete, and then it's gone. So, start right from the beginning. I mean, you have to physically move other stuff and like take them off the keys, but.
That drum break, what was that?
I'll show you a sec.
Not the sound. Yeah, if that's playing loud and there's like 2,000 people there, you will lose your mind. Right, all that.
So, move those out.
This is just as cool to me too because I only get to hear the finished product. I never really get to be around in this element while it's just making these.
And this is always something I honestly wanted to like have too, because like it's just, the distance is always difficult because like you're in Rhode Island now, right? Yeah. So all the way from there, it's like I wouldn't mind driving, but also I work full time now, and it's like I never can get out anymore. So
we all that's a big part of the culture, man.
It sucks, man.
Part of the culture that kind of glamorizes it, makes it look like everybody has nothing to do until it's time to shoot another video or champagne on some people. That's not hip hop. That's that's television. That's just kind of mainstream saying here, let's sell splits and stuff. This going to work and coming home and making a beat, you know what I mean, and still finding time to walk your dog or kiss your wife or whatever it is you're doing. Like that's what most people's hip hop experience is.
Alright, so let's see. Alright, so I'm recording something fresh into this now so that I can have a new sample. There we go. It'd be amazing if you're able to read this.
Reviewed it, you said?
If you're able to read this. And know what the fuck
well,
it's some Russian.
Jazz and Russian is jazz.
What y'all think? You think this one? Oh wait, I just realized I fucked up. Time out. I just realize that shit's gonna be like not fast enough. You get to see it real live. Here we go. Bless. I think a bunch of these might be actually like covers that they did or whatever. I couldn't read it for like the life of me, but I used like one of his. It could have been.
One little part I heard of.
That's another thing is I've had to like kind of just like come to terms with the fact that like a lot of my samples might be found by other people. You know what I'm saying? So like I just try my best to not flip them like super like obvious and hope that like it'll be a little different.
There's a lot of history out there. You know what? I feel like there's only but so much variation.
Right.
If you're sampling music,
right,
musical notes, which is why I like it when people just sample just whatever.